Gotta love fall. Gotta love pumpkin season. All the yummy foods. I love everything pumpkin.
Pumpkin is delicious, and you know it's actually really healthy too.
But so many of the pumpkin recipes or things you buy are so high in sugar and other additives and yucky stuff. And so today we're going to bring you some healthy pumpkin custard.
It is delicious. I know you're going to love it. Hi, Robin and Dana here with Lean, Healthy, Ageless. And if you're a woman 45 plus looking to experience your best health, your best vitality, and your best body, no matter what your age, you have come to the right place.
Well, I'm excited. You've been raving about this recipe. I haven't tried it yet. I am not going to buy another Costco pie because what a waste of calories. I want something new and healthy.
Well, and Deanna likes to eat pumpkin pie for breakfast in the fall. So I'm just giving away one of her secrets. And now she can do that without feeling yucky with too much sugar for the rest of the day.
Okay, let's get started. I know it's a pretty simple recipe.
Super easy. We're using canned pumpkin puree. It's organic. You can bake your own pumpkin and use that if you want, but
not going to happen.
Take a lot longer.
Not going to happen.
Okay, and then we have 4 eggs that we've already beaten that we're going to add to that.
Okay, I'll do that. You just move on to the next, and we're going to show how fast this can be.
This is so fast. Now I'm using... This is organic heavy whipping cream. You can use this if you are not good with dairy. You can use coconut cream. And if you can't find coconut cream, get the coconut milk. Just don't shake it up. Just use the thick stuff that coagulates at the top of your can. That's coconut cream.
Can I say something about fear of fat?
Sure.
In our book, Eat, Live, Thrive Diet, especially when we're helping you learn your carbohydrate threshold and so forth, put you on elimination for 14 days. You're taking out so many unnecessary starchy carbohydrates. Don't be afraid of fat. Now, if you're eating tons and tons of bread and stuff, then you need to be a little more concerned. But if you're on our program or something similar where you're controlling your carbs, don't be afraid of a little fat because it's going to satiate you.
Actually, Dana, I have switched to 1 tablespoon of heavy whipping cream instead of 2 tablespoons of half and half in my coffee. It's only 10 calories more, and I like it better.
Why not? When you're having something, enjoy it fully. Eat in moderation the things you really love, and of course, keeping in mind the healthiest you can. If you can handle dairy, you can handle a little bit of fat.
So we got a half a cup of either the heavy whipping cream or the coconut cream, whichever you decide to use.
Alrighty, I'm going to move that out of your way. Next step.
Next step is we've got a half a teaspoon of salt, if you're going to put the salt in. So here's a half a teaspoon.
Thank you.
And next we're going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla.
All right.
So super quick. And then, is that cinnamon or pumpkin pie spice?
This is pumpkin pie. This is cinnamon.
Okay, so just 1 teaspoon of the cinnamon.
All right. Ooh, it smells so good.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And 2 teaspoons of pumpkin pie.
Okay, I'm going to do 2 pumpkin. You need to be careful. Let's not be silly and try to pour an open spice container over the container. Word to self, note to self. Measure, because have you noticed that most spoons are not big enough for the
Okay, so many times we pre-measure our ingredients, which we didn't do today, but that's okay. We want to show you how real cooks do it.
Yes.
1 teaspoon of cinnamon.
1 teaspoon of cinnamon.
And then maple syrup, and we're going to do, so this is the only added sugar that is in here, and it's really not, it's a pure maple syrup, it's not the artificial, and literally by just adding that, your recipe is about 4 grams of sugar per serving.
1 tablespoon?
2.
2 tablespoons, okay.
2 tablespoons.
Again, I'm going to pour it and get my counter messy if I overflow because I don't want to put too much in. Alrighty.
And then we're going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of our monk fruit extract.
So monk fruit
actually, this is the 1/8, so we're going to do twice.
Monk fruit extract is one of our favorite ways to bump up sugar, especially if you're not used to eating lower sugar recipes and not feeling like you're compromising the taste. This is a phenomenal product. You can find it, if you can't find it in your local store, 2 of these. Okay, now I'm going to whisk
She's going to whisk it all together.
All right.
Now, while she is whisking, I'm going to tell you how we're going to bake this. We preheated our oven to 350 degrees, and then we have these ramekins, and I've got 2 different sizes here, so you can use a deeper, bigger ramekin, or I like to use these little ramekins because then you can just have a very small, tiny little serving, and you can have several throughout the day because it is pumpkin season, and sometimes you want it more than once.
Smells so good. Oh my goodness, I can't wait.
Now, the other thing I have here is I have a baking pan. I've got my ramekins already in here, and I've already put water about halfway up. It's called a water bath.
Water bath.
Don't put that in yet.
Our little custard's going to have a water bath. A water bath.
And then just before we start pouring in the mixture, I'm going to spray these with a light spray of avocado oil. So
yeah, you don't want to use anything with lots of icky oil in it. This is avocado oil. Okay, how full am I going to make these?
We'll start with like about halfway. That's about good for that. And then these, the little ones, I go a little fuller. I go about to 3/4. And you might not get all of them. So
one thing I do want to say, you notice we mixed this in this bowl with 1 a handle and 2 a spout. It just saves using a measuring cup or just the messiness.
Just makes it easier.
So we find that really helpful. These don't really rise.
No, they don't really rise. So you're okay with that? Okay, now we're popping them into the oven at 350 degrees. It's preheated, ready to go, and we are going to bake these for 45 to 50 minutes. So,
well, my kitchen smells like Thanksgiving.
It smells so yummy.
Aroma smells so good.
I wanted to mention, we went for 45 minutes. My oven, I needed to go a little bit longer, but Deanna's not so much. And we just check by doing a puncture with a knife, and if you have a clean, nothing residue on the knife,
it's ready.
It's ready. The other thing we want to mention is we're not going to do it today, but if you want these to look a little bit prettier, you could whip up some of your own whipped cream with either the coconut cream or the heavy whipping cream, add a little bit of the monk extract, and just take your beaters out and beat it to whip.
And you do need to know these taste the very best cool.
Yes.
Cold. So let them cool, put them in the fridge. You have to wait a little bit.
Yeah, you have to wait. This is a delay. So
a
few hours in the fridge at least to cool them down completely, because they just don't taste the same when they're warm. I mean, who eats pumpkin pie warm?
Okay, before we taste it, and I get to taste it for the very first time, Rob wants to give you a little variation possibility.
So I have been working on this recipe for the last couple weeks and trying different variations. I love the texture. It's so delicious. And I thought, the texture would be so good if I could do it as something chocolate. So I just made a quick variation to the recipe. I pulled the pumpkin pie spice out, left the cinnamon, just the 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, and I added a 1/4 cup of this delicious organic cocoa. By the way, this is one of the best cocos I've ever had. It's extra deep chocolatey. It's very different from other cocoa. I'm not sure why it's so delicious, but you need less of it typically in a recipe, and I used a 1/4 cup of this. We have this on our store if you want to purchase it. And I made a chocolate custard, didn't have the pumpkin pie spice, and let me tell you, it was yummy.
Okay, I'm going to do that next. How much chocolate did you put in the recipe?
1/4 cup. We'll put that in the notes, in the show notes.
This is my first maiden voyage. It tastes like pumpkin pie.
Totally.
It tastes like pumpkin pie.
It's delicious.
Wow.
We hope you enjoy it. Deanna is going to be eating this for breakfast for the rest of the month.
Love it, love it, love it.
But I've had it for breakfast, actually.
There you go.
With something else.
Permission to have for breakfast. Enjoy.